What's up, people? What's up? What's up? This is Dominique. Many of y'all know me by Rebirth, but I'm just doing a quick video because I promised y'all I would look into the story. Um, First of all, before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to my friend Dominique Ray for this post. I saw this post on her wall that I found quite interesting. That I wanted to do. And I could have did this earlier, but I just didn't really feel like doing it. I was busy. But now I got time. Um it says woman told to stop calling 911 found dead. Let me read that again. Woman told to stop calling 911 found dead. A Florida woman told to stop calling 911 was murdered just hours after arguing with her boyfriend. Read it one more time. It says a Florida woman was told to stop calling 911 was murdered just hours after arguing with her boyfriend. So if she was murdered hours after arguing with her boyfriend, after calling him, that means she made the call before she was murdered. She made the call before she was murdered. Now, I'm just going off of in here, and I'm just gonna go off a leap and say, no matter what she done, or no matter what she didn't do, I wasn't really there at the moment, so I don't know how it went down or the situation. But I'm um I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say she was murdered for no reason. Um, let's just go to the link she provided me with. Read up some more because I wanna read the source because I think somebody should be fired. Somebody should be fired. So we're gonna go to this link. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, here's the site. It says cops stop calling 911. Order wasn't made to killing victim. All right, now we're gonna read this article from Action News, Channel 6 ABC. Okay, here we go. A Florida woman told to stop calling 911 was murdered just hours after arguing with her boyfriend. But it doesn't say what the argument was about. It doesn't say what he was fighting about or none of that stuff. And this was on Monday, April 3rd. And today is April 3rd. This must have been when the article was published. But when did the murder happen? Because that's really depressing. I saw something about May 27th. March 27th. If I'm correct. Yes, it's right here. Right here, March 27th. But we're going to read this. Sanford, Florida police in Florida say a officer wasn't detecting a stop calling 911 comment to a woman who was fatally shot along with her 8-year-old son hours later. So let's see. They say she was fatally shot along with her 8-year-old son hours later. So I just was talking about before, and if you go back, it said woman was told to stop calling 911 found dead. A Florida woman was told to stop calling 911 was murdered just hours after arguing with her boyfriend. So this phone call was made before she was murdered. So if this phone call was made before she was murdered and they got the phone call, but they didn't do nothing about it, so this woman lost her life because this stupid 911 operator failed to do a job. So we're going to read this one more time, then we're going to scroll down to the next one. It says Sanford, Florida police in Florida say an officer was detecting a stop calling 911 comment to a woman who was fatally shot along with her 8-year-old son hours later. That said, police were called to a home in Orlando, suburban of Sanford on March 27th after Latina Herring's boyfriend called 911 to complain she had taken his keys. Now they had an argument, but again, it doesn't say what they're arguing about or whatever. And let's just say she put his hands on him or something crazy like that. Even if she put his hands on him, he had no legal right to kill her and her son, even if she, let's say, she cheated on him. That doesn't give him any right to kill her. Or let's flip it. Let's say he was the one that was cheating on her, and she caught. And I'm just speaking on what I think what may happen. This is just my opinion. Let's say she caught him cheating, and she came home and caught him with a girl or something like that, and they had an argument up to that point, and she said, "Well, you cheating this and that. Well, I'm leaving. I'm taking my son. I'm leaving." So he probably like, "Well, no, you ain't leaving," and he shot her and his son, or we don't know if that's his son or not. Could be his stepson or something like that. We don't know the situation. We wasn't there. I wasn't there. But it doesn't matter what happened. I don't think she should have lost her life. And something tells me this was a domestic violence issue. So we're gonna move down. It says police body camera video shows a officer saying, "We're going to handle it." But y'all didn't handle it. A woman is dead. She is dead. She's dead. Y'all didn't do your damn job right. So I'm thinking somebody should be fired. Fired and don't give them no pay with leave. Just fire them. Fire that damn 911 operator. Because it says police body camera video shows an officer saying, "We're going to handle it. We're going to handle the situation." And stop calling 911 to make assumptions you don't know nothing about. But again, a woman is dead. She's dead. And so is her son. But hold on. But police say the comment was directed at a third party complaint. Who the hell is this third party? A third party? Who? Who was the third party? Who continued to make the 911 calls about the incident while officers were on the scene. On the scene. So these calls were, I read it again. I understand it perfectly, but if anybody not getting it or it's a little slow, read it again. A third party complaint who continued to make 911 calls about the incident while the officers were on the scene. So 911 calls were being made while the officers were on the scene. So we're going to go back and read this one more time. Police body camera shows a video shows the officer saying, "We're going to handle the situation." But y'all didn't. A woman is dead. And stop calling 911 to make assumptions you don't know nothing about. But police say that comment was directed at a third party which we don't know. Who the hell is this third party? We don't know because this article don't say nothing. Who continue to make 911 calls about the incident while officers were on the scene. So we're going to start right here. So you're telling me police officers were on the scene, but a mystery third party was making the 911 calls. Now we can't assume it was the girl, because if the police arrive hours later, that means the girl is dead. So if she's dead hours later and the officers are already on the scene, who is this third party that's making the calls while the girl's dead? It can't be the girl because it said she was making calls before the officers, you know what I mean, to the operator, and nobody didn't show up. So she was there hours later, and the police show up, but they said we're going to handle the situation. Now, if this happened before and they didn't do nothing about it, somebody should be fired. Somebody should be fired, never hired again as a police officer, and get suspended or fired without pay and never get hired again. And here's some more. Extant body camera video released by police appears to verify that the comment wasn't directed at the neighbor. Authorities say the neighbor boyfriend killed her and her son hours later. So this whole story, and there's nothing, there's some more, there's a little bit more. This story has been corrected to reflect that the Sanford police say that the stop call 911 comment was directed to a third party. So who the hell is this third party? The girl and her son are dead. And this phone call was made before she was murdered. And she was telling the police or the stupid operator that her life was in danger. Her life was in danger. And first of all, I just want to say, my heart, I don't know this girl personally. I never met her. But I just heard about this story today. So my heart sincerely goes out to her family and to her friends that knew her. And my heart breaks. And I'm sorry that this girl is gone. I'm sorry that she's dead and our son is dead. But this article, it doesn't say anything about if this guy has been arrested, if he's dead, if he killed himself, or anything like that. All this article is talking about right here is that this 911 call was placed before she was murdered, and that the officer's saying something about they're going to take care of it, they're going to handle it, but they never did, because it says it right here. Police body camera video shows the officer saying, "We're going to handle the situation." But if they would have handled the situation, the girl and her son would have still been alive. Therefore, they didn't do nothing about it. The girl's gone, and so's her son. So my heart sincerely, goes out to her, and my heart goes out to her family that loved her and cared about her, and my heart goes out to our friends that loved her and cared about her. So this whole damn article is a joke. This whole article is bullshit. Excuse my language, because I know there's a lot of Christians listening, but I'm sorry, but this whole article is bullshit. Because a girl is dead, her and her son are gone, and this whole article is clearly saying that the phone call was made before she was murdered. And they told her to stop calling because they think it's a prank or some type of crap. And then she was found dead hours later. But the police say, "Oh, we're going to handle the situation," but they didn't. And now a girl and our son are gone. I'm out. I'm pissed off, man. Peace.